Hey everyone, Lewis aka Spider-Man 1991 here, continuing my issue-by-issue review of the final story arc, Invincible. This is issue number 140, it is part 8 of the final arc, End of All Things. And with this issue, we are only 4 more away until the big series finale. But for now, I'm going to talk about what happened in this issue, then I'll give you my thoughts on it. Basically in this issue, it's Invincible versus Thrag on the surface of the sun. And they just keep fighting each other until one of them gives, and as they're fighting, it is brutal. Not because of the actual fights, but because they're on the sun and their skin is basically burning off. And eventually, they get to the point where all their skin is burnt off and they're just basically two husks of muscle fighting each other. And right at the point where their skin burns off, it's kind of difficult to tell them apart until Robot actually sends Mark a suit of armor to help him for a bit, and that works, and that gives Mark the advantage for a while until it melts off. But ultimately though, Mark is able to kill Thrag, and fortunately he's saved in the nick of time by Alan the alien. Alan is able to get Mark back to the burn unit, and the issue ends when Alan goes to see Ursal, Thrag's daughter, about negotiating the surrender between her and Thrag's other half Viltrumite, half insect children. Invincible is well known for its very spectacular superhero battles, and this one may be my favorite battle of the entire series, or at least one of them. I loved how Ryan Ottley drew the two fighting, and how it got to the point where when their skin burnt off, they just were basically muscle, and it became very difficult to tell them apart. But eventually, though, you can there are a few minor differences. Clearly, Thrag is a little bigger than Mark, but sometimes, I lost track of who was who. Also, the idea of Mark getting the suit sent from Robot, I think that was a good story angle about a way to evenly match them, because Thrag is a 100% pure-blooded Viltrumite. Mark, he's half Viltrumite, half human, so there would kind of be, and even though Mark is much more stronger and is probably able to get evenly matched with Thrag, the armor did kind of give him a little advantage so that he could get a couple of blows in. Also, during the series, whenever characters fight in space, they usually have like some sort of telepathic sensors installed so that they can communicate with each other. Well, in this case, because of the fight on the sun, the sensors get damaged. So eventually, though, all the you don't hear any dialogue exchange between Mark and Thrag about halfway through the issue. Then the only words you see are all of Mark's inner dialogues. And there are some great lines in this, particularly when Mark thinks about how originally his father, Nolan, let Thrag live after he took control of the remaining leadership of the remaining Viltrumites. And originally Mark thought that was a terrible decision, but now Mark kind of realizes that it was a good decision, it showed good leadership. And ultimately it's that decision that Nolan made that's what separates the rest of the Viltrumites from Thrag. Thrag, he only fights for himself. He only fights for his own glory, to be the ruler and stuff. But Mark, Nolan, and even the other Viltrumites, they have a reason to fight, and that's basically that's basically because of all the families they've built on Earth, and they want to protect those lives. Overall, I am very impressed with this issue. I loved it a lot. This entire arc has been a fantastic farewell to one of the best superhero comics ever published. I'm kind of curious about what's going to happen in the remaining 4 issues now that Thrag's dead. Of course, there's still Robot still on Earth, so maybe the final 4 issues will involve Mark taking him on next. So who knows exactly how this is going to end, but I really cannot wait to read the last 4 issues. So like I said, this arc has been amazing and it has been a perfect farewell to a really good comic book series. If you have not read Invincible, I highly recommend at this point you start from the very beginning, but don't try to catch up until now to try to avoid spoilers. I'd say start from the beginning and just like read at your own pace at this point. But if you are a superhero fan, you owe it to yourself to read Invincible. And that's it for me and my another issue-by-issue review. Thank you again for watching. Stay subscribed and notified to my channel for more upcoming videos. Check out my other videos. Also follow me on all my social media. The links are in the video description below. Thank you again for watching. I'm Spider-Man 1991 saying see you later.